A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We are here with our brother Sheikh Caleb Fall in our Discovering Islam class. We invited some adults to join our class today because we have a special topic we want to go over with the youth, what is called the supreme mathematics that we learned many years ago from the Nation of Gods and Earths, the 5 percenters, from the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Now, what we find out is that these numbers and numerology are universal. I remember when I was studying the math years ago, my mom had a book on Chinese numerology. And I was like, okay, let me look at this book on Chinese numerology. In the introduction of the book, it said they did not know how long this numerology had existed in China. It was so ancient and so old, they had no recollection of when the use of these numbers and the meanings began in China. So I read the book, and each meaning and definition of the numbers was the exact same as the meaning and definition of the numbers from the supreme mathematics of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's when I was like, hold up. We got the same numbers and meanings in our lessons as was in the Chinese numerology that's so old they said they didn't know how old it actually was. So let me check the waiting room again to see if anybody's in there. All right, let's go back to the meeting. So Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the supreme mathematics, we learned that the number 1 is for knowledge. And number 1 is for man and also for the sun. And we learned that knowledge is that which is known, or that which you can study. And in the Sufi world, we learned there are 2 types of knowledge, which we have Ilm al-Qalam and Ilm al-Laduni. Ilm al-Qalam is what is written in books. Qalam means pen. Ilm al-Qalam is knowledge that is written with a pen. And in the Sufi path, we are seeking Ilm al-Laduni, which is unwritten knowledge or knowledge that is not found in books. And my Sufi Sheikh, he says, if it's written in a book, it's not knowledge. No, he said, if it's written in a book, it's not a secret. But knowledge, Ilm al-Qalam, can be written in a book. Sometimes they try to say, oh, I got a book with some secrets. That's what I was getting at. People say, oh, I have a book with secrets. But the true secrets are found in Ilm al-Laduni, which is the unwritten knowledge that comes from opening the heart. So we have 1 being knowledge, esoteric and exoteric is what we could call it in general, representing man and also representing the sun. And in the Holy Quran, you will see that the sun is referred to as a masculine being, and the moon is referred to as feminine, as her. So this is 1, which is for knowledge, man, and the sun. Next, we have 2, which is for the word wisdom, the woman and the moon. Now, knowledge is the foundation. And when you put knowledge into practice, you have wisdom. Wisdom comes from practicing that which you know. And Sheikh Obama has a beautiful saying where he says, let your knowledge be the leader of your practice. So we always said in the 5% Nation, never put your wisdom before your knowledge, meaning never practice something that you don't have knowledge of. So it all starts with knowledge, the man and the sun. And when you have knowledge, you put that into practice, you act on it, that becomes wisdom. And wisdom is symbolic of the woman and the moon. So once you practice your knowledge, it becomes wisdom. And then after you practice it, 3, you will have understanding. And even in the Bible, it says, the greatest of these is understanding, and of all thy gettings, get understanding. Understanding is 3, the star, and also the child. So this is the basis of the supreme mathematics, is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So I want to stop and ask our brother, how would you define knowledge? What's your definition of one and knowledge? How would you define knowledge?
Knowledge, I mean, I think it's you know, beyond what you, I mean, it's just the basis of, like you said, it's the starting point. It's, you know, I mean, it's the one, I think it's the foundation of everything.
Uh-huh. All right. I definitely agree with that. And what about wisdom?
You know, I mean, I think you know, wisdom is supposed to be the wise words and the wise actions. You know, it's carrying that out. You know, it's putting faith into action. You know, the Bible says faith that works is dead. So I think wisdom is the application of that knowledge.
Okay. Wise actions. I like that. And then understanding.
I think understanding is, you know, once you practice something long enough, you actually have a true understanding of it. You start to know something from, you know, when it's just the knowledge level, you might know about something, but you might not have the knowledge of experience. And to me, that's what I think of when I think of understanding. You know, it's the knowledge of actually, or it's the understanding of actually knowing something through that experience instead of just, you know, being told about it second or third hand.
Yeah, and Noble Drew Ali, he says, man knows not by being told. And you brought up man knows not by being told, and you brought up a very important part, which is experience is the best teacher. Experience is the best teacher. So after you act on your knowledge, you will have the experience, which will give you the understanding. Okay. So number 4 is very interesting. What we call number 4 represents culture freedom. And we learned in the lessons that culture freedom means that by practicing your culture, you can have freedom. By practicing your culture, you will have freedom. And in the lessons, we learned that our culture is Islam. Islam is not a way of life. It's astaghfirullah. Islam is not a religion. Islam is a way of life, and that way of life is our culture. And by practicing this culture of Islam, we have freedom. Freedom from all of the ails of Western society. One of the things Islam does is it gives you freedom from what we call the negatives of Western society. Islam can free you from the I, me, my centered lifestyle to where we focus on we, us, and ours and building a community. And even in the Holy Quran, Allah very seldom says I. Allah uses the word we created the heavens and the earth. We created man to even so that Allah, who has every right to say I, even says we. And this is a part of our Islam being our culture, and by practicing our culture, we have freedom, culture freedom. Now, number 5, we learn 5 is power refinement. Power refinement, 5, which means refinement means to make something better. Like you put gold goes through a refining process to purify that gold and take the impurities out. So our power comes from self-refinement. And in Arabic, that would be called taskiyatun nafs. Taskiyatun nafs is the purification of the soul. And we know in the Quran, Allah says, he indeed succeeds who purifies it or practices that refinement, thus giving the practitioner more power. So 5 we learn in the lessons is power refinement. And what I saw in my travels is that the 5 is also for the 5 salats of Islam. Because when you practice the 5 salat, that's a supreme discipline of refinement. And the 5 salats will help you to have power over the lower self, over the passions and desires, over materialism and dunya. And even the 5 salats can help you have power over the shaitan, over the life and the shaitan. So this is the concept of 5 and power refinement, and how by refining ourselves, refining your diet gives you more power. Refining your time schedule, making the schedule that you try to go by will give you more power and make you more efficacious in your life. So we said, we learned that 5 was power refinement. Now, 6 is very interesting. 6 is equality. And we know that 6 is equality because on the scale, 3 on one side and 3 on the other is equality. And you want to deal with every being in your life from a standpoint of equality. We don't have any blanket statements or judgments of others because our dealings are coming from equality, meaning we have balance. Also, equality is very good for a mystic or a Sufi to learn, because a lot of times when we get on the Sufi path, we get so heavenly bound that we're no more earthly good. So this equality and balance of 6 is saying that I have balance in my earthly life and balance in my spiritual life. There's a verse in the Quran that is the epitome of balance, where Allah says in the Quran, Rabbana atina fi dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina adhaban nar, which means, oh Allah, grant me the good of this world, earthly success, and the good of the next world, heavenly success, and protect me from the fires of hell. So Sheikh Ahmad Bamba has a statement of balance where Sheikh Ahmad Bamba says, work as if you're never going to die, but pray as if your death has approached you. This is a balance in the prayer life, and the work life has to be balanced. I remember when I started getting so-called spiritual, my father, who was a philosopher, he said to me one day, he said, son, I see you getting into the spiritual practices, but he said, you have to take care of earthly matters before you can take care of heavenly matters, meaning we have to have some foundation and grounding here on the earth so that we can have a higher ascension into the heavens. So this was 4, 5, and 6. So we'll go back and review and ask our brother, the mystic, what is your understanding of 4 and what we call culture freedom? How would you see that degree?
Yeah, I would have to go back. I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head with that in terms of Islam, and in terms of Islam being a way of life as opposed to a religion. And I mean, that's something that, like, I've been thinking about a lot, just in terms of the way of presenting that stuff to people. I think that's really key, because there's so much religion in the West that just gives people a list of do's and don'ts, and I think presenting it in that way, where this isn't a list of do's and don'ts, this is just giving you the example of the Prophet Muhammad to live by, being the perfect human being, and because you're living in that example, you're going to have that freedom, you know? So I think that the way you put that in terms of that being a
Uh-huh.
way of life and a culture is perfect. So
And you know, a lot of people are scared of religion. People say, I don't like religion. And I'm the
right.
first one to say, yeah, I don't like religion either.
Amen. Yeah.
What's your people say, what's your religion? I say, I don't practice religion. They say, what? The way you dress? I said, no, this is my culture. My lifestyle
Mm,
is Islam, and it's not a religion, it's a way of life.
mm. That's
It's a way
beautiful.
of life. So that's culture freedom. What about 5 and what we are taught that 5 is power refinement?
Yeah, no, I think that whole principle of, that balance of like, you know, your power coming from truth, but also having to have that refinement is really important because, it's so easy when we start to understand the truth to, be harsh with people or to, get so caught up in our knowledge and in truth that we forget about our character. So I think that
Mm.
principle of refinement is really important. And just the idea of that being equated to the 5 salat kind of blew my mind. I don't know how I've never made that connection before, but that definitely makes a
That's the first
lot of
thing that
sense.
happened. When I took my Shahada and they were like, okay, we have to pray 5 times a day, I came from the power of refinement. I said, whoa, wait, if I practice these 5 salats, that's going to give me supreme power refinement.
Right. Alhamdulillah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then 6 is equality. How do you build on the equality?
Right. No, again, I think you put it perfectly. That whole principle of having to have that balance between the earthly life and the heavenly life. I mean, that's something I've really been having to work more on myself, because you can get to that point where you're so caught up in the spiritual that you're not grounded in that way. So I think finding that grounding and, learning to bring stuff back from the heavens and bring that into your and actually find ways to implement that in your daily life is really important. And,
Mm,
hopefully something I'm trying to improve in myself. So I definitely resonated
man,
with the way you put that.
balance is not easy for the mystic. Balance is
Mm,
not easy for the mystic. I had absolutely no balance until I went to Senegal and lived with my sheikh. You know, in the West, we have this idea of the poor righteous teacher. Even in the 5% nations, we're taught about the poor righteous teachers. But, hey, walaikum salam. Hold on one second, Sheikh. Hold on.
no problem. Alhamdulillah.
Walaikum salam. What's going on, fam? Oh, man. How's everything? I thought something was up. They took the thing out? You sure? There's a class I'll be finishing about. I'm using my phone. Don't worry. I got a backup plan. It's all right. No, don't worry about it. I'm using it on my phone. Uh, well, we almost finished, so we'll see. Hey, hit me up later. Bismillah. I wonder what happened. I hadn't seen my neighbor, and we usually go to the mosque for salats in the morning. So when I didn't see him this morning, I was like, "Whoa!" So he's doing okay on his way to the dentist. So where were we?
Alhamdulillah.
We finished equality.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. So what's interesting is 7 is for Allah. 7 is for Allah. Now we know, according to the Quran, Kul Allah Ahad, say Allah is one. So that 1 is also for Allah and knowledge, but the principle of the number 7 and Allah and how they go together is a very interesting topic, especially when you're dealing with tasawwuf and Sufism. So how is the number 7 related to Allah? To reach the station of oneness with Allah, or Insan Kamil, or the state of perfection, you have to travel through 7 levels of the soul, 7 levels of the nafs. And we didn't get this teaching in the 5%. I had a greater understanding of the 7 being Allah and being God after studying Tasawwuf and the Sufi practices, because in the 5% teachings, we learned that 7, Allah, God, 7 is a number of perfection. 7 is the number of 3 and 4 coming together. And it is the number of divinity from the perspective of, oh, wow, from the perspective of the 5% teachings. But in this world, we learned that 7 is for perfecting the soul, 7 levels of the nafs, but also for the 7 names that we recite in the zikr. In the world of Tasawwuf, there's generally 7 names that we recite to purify the soul. And those 7 names are, first you start with La ilaha illallah. The second name is Allah. The third name is Hu. The fourth name is Haq. The fifth name is Hai. The sixth name is Qayyum, and the 7th name is Kahar. And these are the 7 names that we use for perfecting the soul. And I want to say peace. Hey, Jabron. How are you doing?
Good.
All right, all right, all right. So we're going over some letters and numbers from the Supreme Alphabet, and we just went over number 7, and 7 being for Allah, for God, okay?
Okay.
Number 8. Number 8 is, the 8 is also, if you turn on the side, it's a symbol for infinity. But also in the mathematics, we learned 8 was for building and destroying. Now we're talking about the power to build our character and to destroy any negative character aspects, where we say, the Prophet Muhammad said, I came to perfect the character of mankind, and this building and destroying is infinite. Infinite possibilities to build a good character and to destroy what we call the negative character traits, such as greed, lust, anger, and envy. So 8 is for build and destroy. And then we have the number 9. 9 is for born, meaning to bring something into existence. And you see that in giving birth, it takes 9 months for a child to be born. And then we have the 9 planets in our solar system that we study. But 9 months and 9 is for born or creating something from nothing. And the last one is what we would call a cipher. And 0 is the cipher, meaning the knowledge of 360 degrees, or the circle and the cipher go together. So we'll review with you guys to see your understanding of these numbers and how it relates to you. So Jabron, if we say that the number 7 is for God, for Allah, how would you understand that? Do you like, what's your favorite number, Jabron?
I don't know.
Ooh, my favorite number is 3. I don't know why. My favorite number has always been 3. Do you have a favorite number, Caleb?
Honestly, my favorite number has always been 3.
Mind detects mind.
Actually, I think my favorite number is 1.
Ooh, 1? Jabron,
Mhm.
okay, 1 is for knowledge for man and the sun. Okay, why do you like number 1? Number 1, Kuhalawahat, say Allah is 1. Why is number 1 your favorite number, Jabron?
Because it's number 1.
You always want to be first? You like to be number 1 in the contest?
I don't know.
Okay. 1 is, I mean, yeah, 1 is in all of the other numbers. Without 1, Allah, knowledge, you have nothing. Brother Caleb, how do you see number 7 relating to God, Allah?
Like you said, you have the 7 stations of the soul. In other traditions, you have the 7 chakras. And the
Yes.
7 shows up in everything. I mean, it's all throughout the Bible. I mean, there's so many levels to it. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting how that's always kind of a pointer to God or Allah in so many different cultures.
And it's infinite in its power. So I want to ask Jabron. He's a very intelligent young man. What does it mean to build something, Jabron? If I say I want to build something good, how do you understand this word, to build something?
To create something.
To create something.
To give life to something.
To give. Ooh, I told you that brother was sharp. To give life to something. I told you, give life to something is definitely building. And what about, if you could build something, what would you build, Jabron?
A building.
A building. What would you put in the building?
Or wait, what?
I was going to say, what would you put in your building?
Wait, yeah.
Huh? And I would love to build a farm, and on that farm, I would put the building. I would put a school on the farm and a place of worship on the farm. Yep, so I would like to build a building. Caleb, if you could build something, what would you build?
Wait, I didn't get to
Okay.
say what I wanted to put in my building.
Oh yeah, go ahead, sir. Excuse me, sir. Yes, sir.
Home stuff and computer stuff.
Home. You did say you would like to open a computer store, I think, in one of your pictures a while back. You would put home.
No, I said I wanted to open a video game company, not a computer store.
But if you had a building, you would put computers in there and things for the home? That sounds like a really good business. Caleb, if you had to build a building, oh no, what would you want to build if you could build something, Caleb?
Probably like an art gallery or a museum.
Ooh, the aesthetics of life. And what kind of art would you have in there?
I guess I mean my taste is really all over the place. I'd probably have a whole variety of stuff. I guess anything that I feel impacts me or might impact other people.
All right, that's very interesting. I remember when I first went to an art museum and I saw what they called the Impressionist art. I was like, these people must have been on drugs, because that Impressionist art was so far out. So with 8, we have build and destroy. I think of destroying negativity in the world. I would love to destroy this so-called COVID. I would love to destroy that off of the planet. When you think of the word destroy, what does that mean to you, Jabron?
To destroy something you built, to give life away to something.
Okay. If you had ability to destroy something negative, what would you destroy?
If I had the power to destroy something negative, I would destroy the virus.
We said the same thing. Immediately destroyed off the planet. I would destroy homelessness. I would destroy people being homeless and make sure everybody had a house and a home to live in.
I mean,
I would
orphanages exist.
Yeah, build orphanages for the children who don't have homes. Caleb, what's something you would destroy? Oh, wait, what's your definition of destroy, Caleb?
I mean, I guess with destroy, that's something I've been thinking about a lot, just in terms of that idea of like Allah has to enter the emptiness. And I think that's something I've realized recently is you can develop and add on new things, and that's great. But sometimes if you don't go back and destroy the old patterns and actually change your way of thinking, it wouldn't be as effective as if you had did that. So, I think that's the balance between the build and destroy. You can add on new things, but you also have to destroy those old ways of thinking so that those new ways
Yeah.
of thinking can actually take root,
Old ways of thinking can never produce a new lifestyle.
Absolutely.
Never. So that's the science of building, destroying character. Born, 9. When you think of the word born and the number 9, Jabron, what does that mean to you for born?
Being born.
Being born, okay, like a mother giving birth to a child?
Yeah.
Can I give birth to a brand new idea?
What?
Can I give birth to a brand new idea? Let's say if I invent something. You say yeah?
Mm-hmm.
A new invention can be a type of a birth. Man, as soon as they give birth to that flying car, people are going to be going crazy.
I think scientists are still working on flying cars.
Yeah, and I'm kind of happy they don't have it yet, because can you imagine that somebody texting on the phone in a flying car? It's just not going to be good. It's not going to be good. And Caleb, what does it mean to you for born, number 9?
Like you said, just the birth of any new idea, like the fulfillment of kind of any intention, like any all of our thoughts and actions eventually lead to some kind of manifestation in the outward world. So, that's what it makes me think of.
All right. And the last one is the cipher. There's 360 degrees in the circle, and we're dealing with 360 degrees of knowledge, and it's called a cipher in our Supreme Mathematics teaching. Jabron, have you ever heard of the word cipher before?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, sometimes people say if we're going to have a session of knowledge where people get together and study, they call that a cipher as well. A cipher is a gathering where people get together and study knowledge. This is what we used to do years ago. I'm talking over 20 years ago. We used to have ciphers where we would study 360 degrees of knowledge inside of the cipher. Caleb, how would you understand the cipher and 360 degrees of knowledge?
I guess I just think about learning from different perspectives and kind of having to see things from every angle. Like you were saying, kind of just having those groups to get together and build. And you can get a lot more knowledge from learning people of a variety of perspectives than just like staying in your bubble or just even being obsessed with your own thoughts. So I guess that's kind of what it makes me think of.
Okay, that's a blessing. Now, these are the knowledge of the cipher and the supreme wisdom. So we wanted to review that today. Also, Jabron, we missed you on Monday. Do you have a pencil and paper, Jabron, to draw some? On Monday, we learned 3 new names in Arabic for the. You remember last year we were studying the 99 names of Allah. We had Allah, Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Al-Qudus, Al-Salam. You remember some of those names from last year, Jabran? And we were writing them in Arabic. So we learned. Do you remember those, Jabran, or you forgot all of those names?
I think I remember those.
Well, we learned 3 new names, which was Muhammad, Muhmin, and Al-Aziz. So if you you can try to write these too. Can you see that? Wait, if I turn on the side, you can be able to see it better. I already know. Can you see this name? Al-Muhmin, Jabran, and Brother Caleb? Try to draw this. This Al-Muhmin is, hold on. Al-Muhaimin, I'm sorry. The next one, I kept saying Muhmin, which is the next one. But Al-Muhaimin is the protector. And Al-Muhaimin is the guardian, the protector. It's one of Allah's 99 names. Oh, and I forgot. When you draw the name, remember, try to write it from right to left. In Arabic, it's like drawing hieroglyphics, symbols from right to left. Try to draw this name Al-Muhaimin to the best of your ability, okay? And you can try to draw it also if you have pencil and paper, Caleb. Al-Muhaimin is the guardian, the protector. And then once you finish, let me see what you got, Brother Jabran. Al-Muhaimin. We went over these 3 names on Monday. You finished, Jabran? He's like, that's a long name. All right, take your time. Did you try to draw it, Caleb?
Yes, sir.
All right, all right. Oh, okay. Okay,
I don't know if you can see that.
that looks pretty. Did you draw from right to left? Let me see that again. Are you sure you never had an Arabic class before, Caleb? That looks good, man. I'm telling you.
Really?
That looks really good.
Alhamdulillah.
I think you got some art skills from comic books, though.
I don't know, maybe.
Hey, all I know is that Muhammad, I can read it in Arabic. It looked good.
Oh, wow.
Jabran, did you finish?
No.
Okay, let me know when you finish. Take your time. I know this Ar-Rahman, Rahim, the other name Salam, they were shorter than Al-Muhaimin. He's like, man, this guy then came out with the longest name of all the 99 names. All right, I think he's finished. Let's see what he got. Muhammad. All right, now we have this name, Al-Mu'min, the true believer. This one might be easier, Deron, it's shorter. Al-Mu'min is the true believer. And we know Al-Mu'min is the second level because the first level is Islam. And if you have Islam, you're considered a Muslim. But when you have Iman, true faith, you become a Mu'min. And the third level is Ihsan and a Muslim. But this name, Al-Mu'min, is for the true believer, a person who has true Iman or faith in Allah. Faith in Allah is also called a Mu'min, but one of Allah's 99 names is Al-Mu'min, the true believer. Very interesting name. It applies to Allah, but it also applies to the person who has Iman in their heart. You tried this one, Deron? All right. Did you try Sheikh Paul? Let's see what they got. I can read it, sure can. Man, make sure I gotta teach it in the Arabic class later this year for sure. It looks good, it looks good. Deron, did you get to try this name? Let's see what they got. All right, all right. Very good, very good. And after Mu'min, did you get close to Ron? All right, all right. We just have to keep practicing, keep practicing. The next one, Al-Aziz means the mighty. And don't worry about the numbers. I've used this to show someone about the abjad, studying the names and the numbers, how to turn the Arabic numbers into, how to turn the Arabic letters into numbers. But Al-Aziz is the mighty. Oh, Jabron, can you do a screenshot?
What?
Can you take a picture of this with the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, take a screenshot of this one, and inshallah, your mom can help you draw it. How about that?
Okay.
Yay! This is Al Aziz, and I think Caleb went to get some coffee too. But Al Aziz is the mighty. Allahu Latifah Billy Badihi, Yarzuku Man Yasha'u, Bahubal Khawil Aziz, the mighty.
I screenshotted it.
Okay, okay. Hey, you want to screenshot the other two?
Yeah.
That way, your mom can help because your mom likes Arabic. And wait, your dad is from Egypt. He's gonna be like, "What? You got that in class?" This is Al Muhmin. Let me know when you screenshot it. You got it?
Yeah.
All right. And the first one, take a screenshot of Al Muhaimin. No, yeah, Al Muhaimin. Yep.
I did it.
All right, super genius. So that's the 3 names for this week from the 99 names of Allah. And I think we had a good class. Now, what's amazing, Jabron, is you were absent on Monday and the other students were here, but guess what?
What?
They're absent today and you're here.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Like, this is hilarious, but we're so happy to see you. Okay, show the Arabic to your mom and your dad. They can help you draw them, okay, for practice them for Monday.
Okay.
Let me see where is Caleb. I think he might have had to step away. All right, so Allah knows best. We will see you on Monday, okay? Inshallah.
Okay, bye.
Salam, assalamu alaikum. Thank you for coming. Yay!